day
Day,
drink.
day drink discussions, numbers 18 or something.
Something like that. Those are the ones that got fucked up. I think because I remember with the actual episodes, you're the one that told me about it, but I put the right thing on the YouTube, but on the actual thumbnail, I put it wrong. But I think I got those fixed, but I think day drink's still a little bit off.
This is one of the things I love about fall. Fall is actually not my favorite time of the year, but I love hot chocolate.
You got marshmallows in it?
Didn't go with marshmallows, went with whipped cream. So got the Cool Whip in it.
Cool Whip. Hell yeah. Fall would. Ow. My headphones are loud. Fall would be my favorite. My favorite. I just hit this for the first time all days. Fall would be my favorite. What is it? Season. Damn it.
Somebody's
Fall would
in
be
the
my
zone. Auto
fall,
zone.
hey, fall would be my favorite season if I knew it wasn't about to get cold. Cause like chilly at night, warm during the day, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it's
for
about
me
to
it
get
means
cold.
for me it means a lot. It's like I do my annual hiking trip with Ryan every fall, so we're leaving on Wednesday for 4 days. I like the flavors of fall. Like you don't really think of like. Let's see. Does winter have a flavor? Maybe soup for some people, but I'm not a big soup person.
Eggnog.
Yeah, that's more holiday though. It's not like
Yeah,
winter.
Christmas.
Like yeah, you don't drink that shit for January or February. You'd be sick of it.
Chili. Yeah, you
We eat
said
chili
soup.
year round.
And I mean, but chili hits different in the wintertime when it's cold.
Yeah, possibly, but
But you
fall
said
just has
soup.
so much.
Yeah.
Fall has so much. I mean, you have hot chocolates, you have cider, you have
Pumpkin.
pumpkin, you have all the pies. Like even before the holidays start, like fall is just banging when it comes to culinary stuff in the southeast. Maybe worldwide. Fuck, I don't know.
And then you have colors changing with the leaves. And for me, you got football.
Yep.
So yeah, like you said, a lot of good things come with fall, but that means that seasonal depression is about to kick in with winter time.
Yep.
So
I'll just have a lot of date nights. That'd be all right.
Yeah, well, I need a cuddle buddy. Someone hit me up. I was pumping gas at the gas station, and the pump stopped by itself, but it hadn't filled up already, and it reminded me, Jasmine, which was my Hyundai, never had a full tank of gas because if you filled it up past like 3/4, the gas would start fucking spilling out of it.
Ooh.
Yeah, man, it sucked. So never had a full tank of gas.
Yeah, my Cadillac, a lot of the gas stations around here does the exact opposite. You know how usually you can like hold the handle all the way, set that stop, and just runs. Mine
Right.
will not do that,
Oh, that's annoying.
and you can't even hold the handle like with full squeeze. For some reason, like every probably 60 or 70 cents, it just clicks and it cuts off. So you have to like hold it with half squeeze, and your hands like sitting here getting tired as shit.
Right. Forearm getting tense.
Yeah, because I'm a $70 fill up, so imagine my
Oh
half
my
squeeze for $70. And I don't fill up at half a tank. Maybe I should, but I don't. I fill up at like when I'm on zero. So sitting here doing this for a couple minutes just sucks.
Bruh, that's so expensive. Like, to fill up my car now takes about $30 or $31. But to fill it up when President Trump, a real president, was in office, you know what I'm saying? It was like fucking $20 to fill up. I'm just kidding. I don't support any president. We're all fucked.
Yeah, MAGA people, if y'all come here, Nate's catfishing you.
I am. You're gonna be real disappointed when you realize I don't know what the left and the right wing is.
I was about to say, he's going to ask you, so is Trump left or right?
Yeah.
I know he's orange, but I don't know what party that makes him.
Exactly. Donkey or elephant, have no clue. I actually looked up where the donkey and elephant came from, but it was like a year ago when I looked it up, so I don't really remember. but it had something to do with like two sides fighting. I think in war maybe, and they were making fun of them because they were like, "Oh, their asses are donkeys. Donkeys are stupid." So they became the donkey party, something like that. Don't fact check me. Just look it up for yourself.
Yeah, I have no idea. But what I do know is I just started recently listening to Jewel since I saw a couple of her Joe Rogan clips. And dude, I went back and listened to probably 3 or 4 songs off the first album. And what I remember is like your very simplistic, like 90s pop. Kind of just fun, party, dance a little bit. Doesn't have a whole lot of depth. I love the care that you just set that 40 down with so it wouldn't bump the microphone. I don't know if they saw that, but that was awesome.
Yeah, they didn't see it, proud.
But like the meaning behind a lot of her songs was just like, whoa, I can't believe she's saying shit like that as a pop artist in 1995.
Yeah, I've never listened to her. Like probably like you, I seen like music videos on MTV and maybe a song here or there on the radio. But after watching that podcast, I went and added her first album to my listen to later list so I can check it out because I'm like, damn, she is like she's so aware of so many things, and even at a young age it seemed that way. So I'm like, I want to hear what she was talking about.
Have you listened to it yet?
Mm-mm.
You're in for a treat.
Usually it takes me about 3 months to get to an album I just put. I got 1,500 songs in that bitch.
No, man. Like, I don't really put albums in my listen to later list, but I don't know why. This is going to sound strange. I'll watch tutorial videos for things I don't even want to do. I love I love fucking tutorial videos. I just like the idea that I can know how to do something.
It's like, I think you were talking about it in the Q-Tip Bandits episode, where you were like, I just love watching time-lapse videos of people cutting grass.
I do. The buzzword of today is satisfying. It is so fucking satisfying.
That's
I don't
crazy.
know why. And since maybe summertime, Wendy's got me into like painting and stuff, so I'm practicing my visual art skills. So I've been watching tutorials to learn skills so I can try to apply it to the canvas. But even before then, like a year or two ago, when I started coming across all these time-lapse videos of people painting,
Right.
I'm like, I'll probably never paint.
Right.
I have no desire to paint. I like art museums, but I don't collect or buy art to showcase in my home. But watching this person paint this thing is so satisfying.
Yeah. I mean, you're into what you're into.
But no, I mean, now being a homeowner, I am into like wanting to know more handyman type stuff. But even still, like I'll watch things that I know I'll never do to this house.
Right.
Just because I want to see how to do it.
Hey, Home Depot, how homeowners get stuff done.
Yep, I think it's getting more done. They probably change
you're
it.
probably right.
They probably change it occasionally. I live at Home Depot. It's my third home. I have 3 homes: my house, my job,
Work.
and Home Depot. Because I stay there.
I only got two homes. That's working where I live at. Yep.
Which last time after we stopped the recording, we were talking about where you live at versus where I live at.
Right.
Talking about how how you've been to my house.
Yeah.
So you seeing this door behind me, or if you saw the door behind me, you could reasonably figure out about where in the house I am.
Right.
I've never seen anything except for what you show on camera, so I have no idea what's through that door.
And no one else does either, but it's even crazier because you're the one that's always talking to me and you're my brother, but have no clue what goes beyond this door. You know, my bed is to the left of me. But
I got the TV location wrong. You're like, no, it's not there. It's actually over here.
Yeah, it's
if
right
you have a
behind.
window, I have no idea where it's at.
I got a window. It has blinds on it with no what's the things?
Curtains.
Curtains, no curtains. Yep. Got some artwork hung up. Got my shoes right there, sauna right there. But yeah, you have no
Nice.
clue.
Yeah, I still have the holes behind me from when we played darts and you kept missing low.
Man, I don't know what the fuck that was about because I used to be decent. I was
Were
no
we drink?
pro, but
Were we drinking that night?
yeah, but I was sober when we were playing.
Oh,
I
okay.
wasn't fucked up. My shot was so. I don't know if I was holding. I'm sure if someone like knows how to play darts, they'd be like, you're probably holding it too long or switch your grip up. But I don't know what my problem was. I just couldn't hit shit except the
Yeah.
wall.
I remember the first time you said sorry. Um, and I was like, okay. Second time you're like, man, I don't know what's going on. And we only played that one night. There's probably 20 holes in the wall.
Yeah, yeah,
At a certain point, I just put a blanket on the floor so it wouldn't damage the hardwood.
right.
And I was like, fuck it.
Let's
If and
just
when
say
we sell the house, like we'll just paint over that.
I lost cricket that night. I got my
And
ass
I had never
kicked.
played. I mean, it took me forever to win, because I sucked at it too. But it was fun.
It's a pretty long game unless you got two pros playing. I've seen pros playing. It's stupid.
One thing, dealing with projectile accuracy that I think is crazy. I can't remember if it was just like a competition I saw on ESPN or if it was a Olympics like 4 years ago. But I was at a local burger joint here, and it had archery on TV. And I don't know
yeah.
at what yardage they were, but anything past 5 feet is amazing to me because I suck at archery.
Right.
And they were hitting bullseye and so damn near bullseye consistently. It's just like, this is crazy.
And bro, like I don't know if you listened to it, but I watched it in the Olympics, and like if you listen to the commentary, like the stuff they're saying, they're like, "Oh no, her finger's off right now. Can she fix it?" And like they're so fucking calm, bro. Like, and
Yeah.
boom, hit it.
They bring it right back to the same part of the cheek every time.
Man,
You can tell that they're breathing like with a rhythm.
dude, it's crazy. Uh, I fucking I went bowling a month or two ago, and they had volleyball playing on the TV, and they got these bitches playing in masks and shit, and I'm like, bruh, volleyball is not an easy sport, and you have them playing in masks, like, and it was college, so I'm sure they had to fucking get tested before they went out on the court. It's like, it's pick and choose. I saw fucking these little kids. They were boxing. They were probably like 8, 9 years old, and they were boxing with no mask on. But soon as the fucking last round was over, they had to put mask on immediately. And it's like I don't understand it, man. I don't get it.
Yeah. It's almost like with sports, we choose who we want to sacrifice. Because like MMA, I mean, there's no way you can do MMA with a mask. That would
Hell
be
no.
insane. Not even going there with my story. But unless I'm so ADHD that I'm forgetting, the referees aren't wearing masks right now, are they?
No, but they have to wear a mask when they get out the cage or
Yeah.
octagon. Yeah.
And like everybody else has to wear a mask. The four people that are willing to sacrifice is Bruce Buffer, which fuck you. Bruce Buffer should be more protected than anybody else in the sport. The two fighters and the referees.
Right. No, none of the fans have to wear a mask, and they didn't get tested. Everyone that's working for the UFC has to get tested.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 rapid tests that week.
That's so stupid.
Yeah. And I'm all
Yeah.
for regulation, I'm all for protection, but it has to be done in a way that makes some fucking sense.
It would make
This
sense.
is why people are so angry about it.
Yeah,
Like I've been vaccinated since May. I still wear a mask if I'm indoors.
and that's fine.
But I understand why people are mad about it because I follow the regulations and I'm upset about how it's being portrayed. It's like fucking tell the truth. Make things standardized for everybody.
Yeah, when it comes to sports, at least, if they're going through testing all the time, I think you're following the protocols, so don't wear a mask. Like there's been fighters that had to drop out of fight a day or two before because they got tested positive. So it's like, okay, don't wear a mask, but go the fuck home and quarantine. But if you've been tested and you come back negative, why are y'all wearing masks? That's what doesn't make sense to me. I hate using the word sensitive, or politically correct. But do you think that the rest of the world is as sensitive as America is? Because we don't really get to see much of the world besides American news and shit.
Yeah, I have no idea what the rest of the world feels. I have no clue.
I wonder that sometimes because I'll watch podcasts and they'll talk about like traveling out of country and being like, dude, you turn on their news and not only is it our news, like they're covering stuff from America, they cover shit that you would never hear of unless you went and search articles for yourself. And I just never thought of that.
Yeah, I mean, in our country, I would imagine that freedom of press is a little bit more available than other countries. And citizens having like any sense that they have a voice is probably greater in this country.
Yeah, BBC is probably the closest one to us that gives their people a voice. But besides that,
yeah, I mean, they let Russell Brand sit over here and talk his shit.
Yeah, I get his recommended videos. I watched him when he first started it. I probably watched him for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, you got me into him.
I like what he says. I started getting bored. I was like, damn, he has good insight. Maybe it's because he's good at speaking with himself, but he's not like a Joey Diaz or Bill Burr, And they're so good at it. Like if they're level 10, I feel like he's level 6. And I just couldn't get entertained. I'm like, it might be better for him to get guests in so they can riff with his ideas.
Yeah, and he has 3 segments. So he has the one where he's covering a lot of current events and political stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's just called Russell Brand. Then he has Awakening with Russell, where he goes over like meditation and like enlightenment principles and stuff like that. And then he also has Under the Skin, where he has hosts on and he interviews them.
Oh, okay. I ain't seen that part.
Oh, you've never seen Under the Skin where he interviews people?
I've only seen him just talking in front of a camera.
Oh, Under the Skin's very very good. I don't think it's free anymore. Yeah, it's not. You have to subscribe to the Luminary app, which that app you can get several podcasts, but it's a paid for app. But you might be able to find the past episodes on YouTube.
Gotcha. Yeah, I didn't. What's it called? Under the Skin?
Under the Skin.
Yeah. I had no clue. I wonder if it's on the same channel because I never saw it.
I'm not sure. You'll find it. I was about to explain it to you, but I thought of a button that I saw in one of our local art stores, and it said, "If you have Google, don't ask me shit." And I was like, that's so funny. I had a coworker that told me that one time. I asked him a question, and he said, "Google it." I was like, but from our previous conversations, I imagine you would know something about this. He's like, I don't, and if I did, I don't want to tell you. Google it.
Bruh. I've only had that done to me once, and I don't know I guess I kind of had the same response of, but I'm here talking to you right now, and you want me to go to my phone instead of continue the conversation that we're having. Because once I look at my phone and I figure it out myself, this conversation is dead because I already know now. Like, that pissed me off. Like, don't tell me to Google it. Unless it's something he's like big. He said, it wasn't this, I don't remember what it was, but it was something like, Nate, what does SMH mean? And that was a kind of hey, look it up because you'll be able to know. And he's like, damn, I always forget about Google, you know. But yeah, if it's like we're having a conversation, then if I Google it, no more conversation. It's done with.
Yeah, and he's my friend. He's just being a dick in the way that male friends will be sometimes to one another. Kind of sarcastic, like, yeah, I really don't want to do it, but I'm gonna be funny about it, kind of way.
Yeah, she wasn't being funny about it. She was like, look it up. And it was something she could have explained very easily. Actually, she did explain it very easily because I told her, I'm not Googling it. We're right here. Just tell me. And after I got my point across, she told me. I don't even remember what it was about. Wasn't that important, but I remember that part of it.
One thing I can't Google, but I do want to know, is that Lucky Charms box in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a new one on a regular basis, or is it the same one from the very first time?
It's a different one.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a different one. It's empty. I like Lucky Charms and Apple Jacks.
I like that you always bring it into the room when you film triple D's. But I was like, it would be amazing if he hasn't bought that in like 6 months, and that's just a fucking prop.
No, but one thing, it actually stays in my room because when it was out in the kitchen, ants got in my fucking cereal. And I was like, that ain't happening again. There ain't no ants in my room. But with the cat food, it attracts ants and anything that you leave out. So I fucking had my shit closed, but they found a way into all 3 of my fucking cereal boxes. And I was like, nope, not happening again. You actually ate ants, you fucking... Wendy woke up the next day and was like, damn, there's ants in the cereal. And he's like, I fixed both the cereal in the dark last night. So I could have ate ants.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not very likely that they got in after I made my bowl because I twisted it down so it'd be
right,
mostly airtight, so it'd be fresh. But yeah, how they got in the box, I don't know. How long they have been there, not sure. It's very likely I ate some that night though.
Honestly, if it wouldn't have been daytime and it wouldn't have been light in the kitchen, I probably would have ate ants because I didn't see them at first. I picked it up and then I saw a couple on my hand. I was like, what the fuck? Threw the box down and opened it up, and I was like, damn, they're all in the fucking bag and everything. Like, they're just getting thrown away. Do you like Haribo gummy bears?
Haribo's good.
What's better? There's nothing better when it comes to gummy bears, at least.
No, there actually is.
Oh, no.
I can't think of the name of them.
Exactly.
Fuck you. But if you Google world's greatest or world's best gummy bear,
it's going to come up as Haribo.
No, it's a brand. Like that's a brand of it.
It's called
and
World's
I think it's world's best gummy bear. And the bag color, the primary foundation color is white. I want to say it has either red trim or red writing or both.
These nasty ass things. These Dollar General for 50 cents things.
I can't see past your mic, bro.
Bro, I ain't showing you shit. I'm looking at them. I'm going to show you. This. I tried to get a big. Oh, yeah, here we go. This may not be it, actually. It's white. Oh, it says Albanese World's Best.
Yeah, Albanese, yes. Those are the ones.
Hell nah.
Yeah.
I ain't never had them, but they look like they don't taste good. It looks like I find that at Dollar General on clearance.
Yeah, the Haribos are just foreplay for the Albanese. The Albanese are like all the way there.
You have proved me wrong once because, let's see, that was probably 2015 when that happened, and I'd been drinking Grey Goose for probably about 3 or 4 years. That's the only vodka I'd buy unless I didn't have the money, and then I'd buy some cheap ass vodka. But you said it, bruh, you're paying for the bottle. Like, get Titos. And I was like, we'll try it because JJ was with us and we were in the liquor store. And not only almost half as cheap, much, much better.
I think the reason your generation of people who are into hip hop culture drink Grey Goose like it's going out of style is because in the early 2000s, that's what was popping in Atlanta music, and maybe
Uh,
music in general, but definitely Atlanta with like Lil Jon and the East Side Boys.
Goose got me
Um,
loose.
yeah, like Goose was all they talked about.
You know my favorite fucking Goose bar is damn, I don't remember how he set it up, but Wayne said something like, I'm going off that goose, I got bird flu. And I was like, yeah, Grey Goose is a shit.
But
Yeah, I was
then,
definitely very influenced by hip hop.
but
But I
then I
couldn't
told
get
you
with the
about
Ciroc.
Tito's. Yeah, Ciroc's disgusting.
Yeah, I couldn't get with that.
But yeah, I showed you Tito's triple distilled from Austin, Texas.
I've never I've never bought Grey Goose since then. Actually, Mateo hit me up because I'm in his wedding, and he got all his groomsmen their favorite liquor. He was like, "Everyone, tell me your favorite liquor now." And I was like, "Tito's." He's like, "What? It's not Grey Goose." I was like, "I'm glad you remember. That's awesome, but nah, bruh, it's Tito's forever."
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of the smoothest vodkas I've ever had.
Dude, because all vodka tastes the same. It all tastes like rubbing alcohol if we're being serious, but
Yeah,
it tastes like less rubbing alcohol. It doesn't burn as bad.
yeah, yeah. Because most vodka for me is like used in maybe a Bloody Mary or like a screwdriver, but I'm mixing it. Maybe a gimlet. But I don't want to just drink vodka straight. Tito's, I can drink it neat or throw it on some ice. Like it's a smooth enough just for me to sip.
Yeah, I used to drink Grey Goose on the rocks by itself. I would just fucking buy a bottle, pour it, sip it all day. But after Tito's, I was like, damn, you don't even need this bitch on the rocks. Like, it's better on the rocks because something Randall taught me is he was taught by someone else, but
Who was
like
taught
just
by somebody else?
our uncle or unk, I'll call him.
No,
Um,
I was being an asshole. Continue your story.
oh my bad. Just a dash of water in your liquor, and that'll make it much more smooth, and you still get just as drunk.
Yeah, and it almost opens up the flavors too, so you can like taste individual notes.
I've never thought about it like that, but it did change the flavor. I know that.
Yeah, kind of like how you and I were talking about earlier today. If you wear earplugs to a concert,
Mm-hmm.
it cuts out like the frequencies that are disturbing the content, and then you just get like pure like music versus all those crazy highs from the guitars and the cymbals and just the rumbling bass that um, makes everything muddy. It kind of cuts that part out, so you just get content.
Khabib and all them, or anyone else that has cauliflower ear, they might not even have to wear earplugs to metal shows. Because their ears are fucking disgusting.
I hate cauliflower ear the way it looks.
It looks so nasty. And if I ever saw someone at the bar and they were getting feisty with me and I saw they had cauliflower ear, I would turn into the biggest bitch ever. Like, nah, bro. I'm sorry. I
Dude,
don't know why you're mad, but
when I used to go to Hooters, as you call it, I always had my head on a swivel because I'd be there by myself. And sometimes you get some characters in there like where it's like, if something happens, it's gonna be because of that dude over there, because of that group over there. Like they're the ones that, if it happens, they're gonna start it.
right.
And only ever once where I saw a person like that had like some slight cauliflower ear, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to stand or sit near this dude because if it pops
Exactly.
off, he's been through some shit. Doesn't mean
Exactly.
he's good. He might have that.
Right.
He might have that ear because he fucking sucks.
Right.
But I don't want to find out.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah. The phrase is I'm a lover, not a fighter. It's just for me. It's just I'm not a fighter. I'm a lot of fucking things, but I just don't want to fight.
Yeah, I was. I wouldn't call myself a fighter in high school. I was more of a protector, protect myself. But I do not want to fight. Like two things. One, we've talked about it, but this part we've talked about getting wasted in public. That's when my head's not on the swivel. That's when fuck everyone and love everyone at the same time. I love all you motherfuckers and I ain't paying attention to no one around me. And then if I am gonna fight, it's because I'm drunk. That's what it is. Like any other time, I'm gonna avoid the fuck out of it. And I'm not saying I get mad when I get drunk, but I probably wouldn't turn down a fight if I'm wasted. All right. I mean, we don't have to. I don't want to, but if you really want to, let's do this shit right now. Let's just get it over with. But yeah, I am not a fighter by any means. And honestly, my fight or flight, my flight instinct might kick in even when I'm wasted. But I just know 9 times out of 10 as an adult, the times I've almost gotten into a fight, it's because I was drunk. Either I blew shit out of proportion or I was being too aggressive with someone and thought I was joking and thought they were in on the joke, but they didn't think it was funny. And sober, I would have been able to read that, but drunk, I just kept it going.
Yeah, I haven't had any near misses as an adult. But yeah, for me, there's just, unless it's ego thing, there's no win to fighting. Like,
unless it's with your homies, and y'all can still be friends afterwards. Because you ain't going to beat the shit out of your homie. You're not going to just keep pounding him, you know?
Depends on how pissed off you get.
Nah, I think there's a stopping point when you're with your homie.
Maybe. I've never fought a homie. I mean, I've never been in a fist fight, so.
Like, if we got in a fight, like, you're not going to beat me until I'm unconscious. And if I get you, I'm not going to beat you till you're unconscious. Honestly, it's going to be like first of all, it's not going to happen. But it would be like a 2 or 3 hit thing. But, all right, we're good. We're good. Go our separate ways. Come back. Hey, we're tight now. It's straight. That's just what happened when I fought my homies.
I was about to say, please don't hit me when I see you at Thanksgiving. I don't feel like getting in a fight.
Nah, I love you. There's no reason. No, I would never come to fist with us. We might get hot-headed, but we're cool-headed enough to know. We're not gonna push each other to that point. Like,
one time I almost pushed you there. I can't remember what happened, but I just can see you still like walking out of Mama's house. I'm in the living room, and I think somebody else was in there and they witnessed it, and they just looked at me like, "What's your response?" I'm like, I don't feel like fighting today. I was like, with him being that mad, to get him off me, I would have to hurt him, and I don't want to try. Right. I don't want to get hurt myself.
Right.
I don't know what button I just pressed. I took it way too far. Like you said earlier, I thought I was being funny, but you weren't in on the joke.
Exactly. That's the worst, dude. That happened to me with Patrick Oakey 1 or 2 times. I know one time, you remember he used to fucking put the knife on the oven and like burn himself?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it was like kind of like a tribal tattoo type shit. Like it would bubble up and leave a scar. And he's like, these are fucking war wounds. But he left the fucking knife on the eye, acting like he was gonna do it. So I fucking take it off and I stick it to him and I hold it. And he got so mad, bro. He got pissed. He was like, you ain't supposed to hold it. And I was just joking. I've only done that like once or twice. Like, I was like, bruh, I thought we were all joking. He's like, you joke around too much. You don't know when to stop playing. Okay.
As a kid, sometimes I guess most kids don't. But
yeah.
But
yeah, I would definitely take shit too far. But yeah, and there was one other time, I think he actually might have pushed me. I don't know if he ever put his hands on me, but I know it was scary both times.
Yeah, I mean, you only learn some things by either experiencing it or being very close to somebody else experiencing it. So, like, taking things too far, you don't even know there is a too far until you see it.
Yep. And yeah, then you're able to read people better, you know, because you're like, oh shit, I remember this happened 5 years ago, and they're acting the same type of way as that happened. Let me back off a little bit, you know.
Yeah, and I don't know if it'd be that conscious where you're like, oh shit, I remember this exact thing. Not unless it was that jarring to your emotional state. Um, I think it's just under the surface, like you have all these calculations
Yeah.
running.
And sometimes, like you said, sometimes it was that drawing. So you're like, I saw this play out. I could be being paranoid right now, but I've seen it play out before. Or it could just be fucking all the calculations you've made growing up, making your own mistakes and seeing other people's own mistakes that you're like, okay, I know how he feels right now, or I know how she feels right now. Let me back off, or let me lean in a little bit more.
Nobody knows what it's like to be the sad man.
But honestly, the people listening and even you might think I'm tripping.
The
But my
Limp Bizkit
favorite
versions.
that's my favorite rendition. It's so, and honestly, that's the first time I heard that song. I didn't hear the original, and I've heard other renditions since, but that was the first time I heard. And that was honestly, that was my favorite song on that album because that album had like maybe two or three good songs, and the rest were garbage. I just remember it was a Green album, but that song, man, Fred Durst. It reminds me. It gave me the chills, the same way when Aaron Lewis sings "Outside Live." Like that gives me chills every time I hear it. Even if it's like a corny ass song, like God, you can hear him pouring his heart out, and to realize years later, most of that was freestyle.
Yeah. I don't know if I necessarily ever wanted to see Stained or feel sad that I didn't see them, but I would still like to go see Aaron Lewis like do his solo stuff.
Yeah, I I like Stain for one or two albums, but they were never someone where I was like, man, like Godsmack. I wish I would have got to see Godsmack. That's because mom threw it in. I don't know if she threw it in your face, but she threw it in my face. She was like, I got to see Godsmack, and she had that Godsmack tank top with the fucking sun on there and shit.
Yeah.
Every time she'd wear it, I'd be like, fuck you, man. Like, you didn't take us to that one. Her and Ed went.
My favorite shirt that Ed had was Ted Nugent. He was flipping off like the Observer, and it said, "Fuck you, I'm an American."
Dude, I forgot about that shirt.
I wanted to wear that shirt to high school so bad,
Yeah,
and
you would have gotten
mom
suspended.
said no,
Suspended.
and I was like, doing something that's not going to get back to her, that's not causing that big a harm. I'm gonna be a little bit mischievous. Like if I want to do it, I'm gonna do it. But I was like, she works in the school system.
Yeah.
They're going to get in touch with her.
Right.
It's not worth it.
No.
What little
Yeah.
thrill I get from my friends loving it and everybody else think I'm a nut for it, it's not worth it.
And you would honestly, yeah, it says suspended. You probably wouldn't get suspended, but they would definitely. You would be sitting in the office waiting for mom to pick you up.
Yeah. Fucking worse than suspended. They give you ISS, where this is going to be a big deal for people that know me, where you're not allowed to sleep and it's really fucking cold.
I've been in ISS once. I acted like I was talking present tense, like it's still possible I can go back. I went to ISS once, but it was only because I brought the wrong shoes to construction class, and he was like, "I can't leave you out in the classroom by yourself. You gotta go sit in there." And bruh, my fucking ADHD was going crazy for that hour, and that was just 1 hour. Cause, hey man, I ain't seen you in why are you in here? Nate, stop that talking. Like, you couldn't talk, you couldn't get up, you couldn't move. Like, man.
Yep.
And it's so quiet, dude, just a whisper. Like, you hear everything. Like, everything.
Yep.
All you hear is pages turning and the teacher typing on some shit.
Yep.
Fucking man, I don't know if y'all ever did that, but we did it a couple times, and I was always an instigator. I instigated everything in high school. I was just a class clown, but I think JJ was in that class, and we got like 3 or 4 other people in on it, and we're like, hey, we're taking the test or whatever. Just like, I'm gonna sniffle first, and then you sniffle. And bro, eventually, it got so loud because everyone's just going, and like other people are joining in because they understand what's happening. And Miss Jackson in history class stood up and said, "What is going on?" And everyone was just looking at their paper, and we stopped sniffling. But yeah, man, we did stupid shit in high school.
Yeah, it was my 11th grade science class. I can't remember what science that would have been or who taught it. I can see him in my mind's eye, but I can't remember what his name was. And me and 3 or 4 of my friends in the back, for some reason, thought it would be great to have Thanksgiving Thursdays. So every Thursday, we would bring in something that either we cooked or our parents cooked that night. And we'd have a little potluck in the back where we would have plates and drinks, and we're passing around this food. And we did it all semester long.
Wow, and the teacher never got mad?
Oh, all the time. Y'all stop making all that noise back there. All the time.
Man.
And then we'll like make snide comments like, if you don't have enough for the whole class, well, don't bring it at all. Like, and every Thursday, it was like a silent protest.
That's crazy.
We're not going to pay attention to your shit. We're going to eat our Thanksgiving. And then I think towards the end of the semester, this one kid was like, man, y'all shit be smelling good. And I joined in. We're like, yeah, dude, next Thursday, bring something. We'll share it.
That's crazy, man. Yeah. A lot of people, I think high school is a bad place. I think it's kind of like COVID. How you hear people being like, COVID's the best thing that ever happened to me. I mean, I'm sorry to anyone that actually lost people in it, but for me, that's how I feel. Like, high school wasn't the best thing that ever happened, but high school was fucking amazing. But there's a lot of people that either got bullied, they were shy, people made fun of them, they didn't have any friends. So high school was a terrible place for them. But for me, I loved high school. Like, it was, especially senior year. Senior year was my favorite because that's when, like, the friends really, really clicked up. Like, I'd see Andrew in the hallway. God, what was that lyric we used to always say? Oh my God. I'm going to have to look it up because it's going to bug the fuck out of me. It's from that Shoulder Lean, Young Dro. And we'd be like, God, how's it go? I'm going to have to look it up. But yeah, like, we would just see each other and we would say it and just keep walking. Like, just shit like that, man. Like, fucking high school was fun. Senior year, fucking, I'm like, Mom, senior ditch day is coming up. She's like, no, you've been ditching so much. Why do you need a day for it? Because I remember she finally told me, she said, Nate, I don't care how much you skip school this year as long as you graduate. And I was like, okay. I'll make sure that happens. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I remember on the way to oh, go on.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say real quick, I remember on the way to graduation, JJ had that system in his Jeep, and I remember we listened to So Fly by Birdman and Lil Wayne. But what was he going to say?
That's a good song to set the mood for leaving high school and starting the rest of your life.
Exactly, and I'll never forget it. We were turning from from Money Mill on the McEver, past an Underground Inc., and I was like, bro, play So Fly. Like, and then we got into Free Chapel for the graduation.
One of my favorite things is when I meet somebody or like when I was living at home and I meet somebody that wasn't from there, and they would see a street name that looked like it should be easy to pronounce, or a city that should be easy to pronounce, but they pronounce it not how we do.
Yeah.
Because we know that street is McEver.
Right.
Worked with this dude one night. I worked with this dude one time. We were on the night shift, and we were talking, and he was trying to tell me about where this boot place was.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I've never heard of it. Like, where's it at? Like, I need some good work boots.
I think it's Big Daddy's.
Big Daddy's Boots and Shoes.
I know where that's at.
He said, it's down there on McKeever Street. And I was like, McKeever Street? He's like, yeah. I was like, where's that? He's like, come on, man. He's like, you gotta know where McKeever Street is. It was like a main road. I was like, what's it connect to? And he's like, Dawsonville Highway.
Oh my.
I was like, what else? He's like, if you go down through Oakwood, like the Publix is off of it. I was like, bro, you mean like McKever? He's like, yeah, McKeever. I was like, no, man, we don't say it like that. That's McKever.
That's McEver, yeah. There was what did they used to fuck up all the time? It would piss mom off. Was it Springhead Drive? Because with Springhead, was that one or two words? Damn, I can't remember.
One word.
I feel like they would either fuck that up or they would fuck something up where it would be like Sprunghead or something weird. And I know she hated when people would call her fucking Steph Hands. Like Stephens? Stephens? She's like Stevens. I hate saying Stevens with a PH because some people don't understand what the fuck. That just fucking discombobulates.
That's where I'm going, man. I was doing some indoor rock climbing with a buddy one time. And I had never been to this rock climbing gym. It's the first time I ever done rock climbing, period, indoor or outdoor. And I'm signing like the disclaimer and all this, like we're not responsible for any injury you may sustain, blah blah blah. And dude has his clipboard and he's asking me all my information. And I was like, hey, I'll just write that down for you and then sign it. He's like, no. He's like, we got to write it down and then we hand it over to you. So I was like, all right, cool. So what's your first name? Bobby. What's your last name? Stevens. And he started to put a V. I was like, oh, no. Stevens with a PH. And he looks at me and you can just tell. Have you ever seen somebody's eyes where you can tell they just short-circuited?
Bro, I'm telling you, it discombobulates them. Yes, I've seen that with other things, but yes, with that too.
He's just like, so he scratches through STEV, puts a PH, and then he says, what's next? I said, ENS. And he starts to write it, and he's looking at it, and you can tell he's thinking, that doesn't look like Stevens.
It does not look
and
right.
I was like, no, Stevens with a PH. And he's looking at me like, please explain. So I was like, where the V goes, put a PH. And he's STE, and he's looking, and he's like, I'm like, there's no way you haven't run across Steven or Stevens with a PH. Like,
yeah.
But it happens all the time. And
Dude,
Wendy's like, no. She's like, there's no way it happens that often. I can't remember exactly how she phrased it, but she's almost in disbelief until we got married and she changed her name.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my God. She's like, I just say it now. Like, Wendy Stevens with a PH.
You have to, man. Like,
yeah.
I did it at when did I play? Three Tuesdays ago. When I went to league night, going again tomorrow. Whoop, whoop. But when I went to league night, there's this old dude that runs it, and I was like, he was like, what's your first and last name? I told him Stevens with a PH. And I watched him write it. And he wrote it fucking perfect. I was like, what the finally. Finally someone knows what Stevens with a PH means. Like, I didn't have to explain it. I didn't have to say substitute the V for a PH. Like, none of that. He understood it. I was happy.
I met this dude here that is Stevens with a PH. And I asked him, I was like, do you always have some... just fucking lost my tongue.
That's fucking...
I hate when that shit happens. It's so strange. Does it happen to you?
Losing your tongue?
Yeah.
No, I always keep it in my mouth. I lose my brain now. My brain's gone, but no, I lose my tongue. Like, it sounded like what you were trying to do was say the next syllable, but you were still on this syllable, and your tongue's like. That's what it sounded like, and that happens to me too.
And I asked him, I was like, does it happen all the time where you have to explain that you have a PH? He's like, bruh. He's like, let's not even get into that.
Man.
I was like, it's an easy substitution.
You would think so, but I'm sure have you called someone at your work or something and you fuck their last name up, or do you just wait for them to say it? Because I was gonna say, I'm sure there's been times where someone's like, "Oh, it's actually McEver, it's not McKeever," and you're like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry," because it's happened to me.
I'm sure it has. I can't think of any ones in particular. But usually, and I probably learned this from making the mistake of fucking up so many people's last names or
Right.
first names. That usually now, if I see it and I don't know that I can get it right, I just ask, "Hey, how do I
Yeah.
pronounce that?" Especially like at
Exactly.
my job because I'm customer service. So when I speak to somebody, it's like, "Hey, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, and I want to be respectful. How do I pronounce that?"
Right. The word I've done that before, and the worst is when well, I've done it in person. Actually, fucking at open play, this dude he was very very soft spoken, and you could tell that English wasn't his first language. And I was like, "What's your name?" And he said, "Do." And I was like, "Da?" He was like, "No, Do." And I'm like, "To?" "No, Do." I was like, "All right, nice to meet you." I was like, "Fuck, I ain't calling this man by his name. I'm gonna say, hey man, it was a good match, bro." He just ain't getting it because I hate when someone tells you their name, tells you how to pronounce it, and you just keep fucking it up. I'm like, nah, we're good. But it is though. I remember it now.
I was about to ask you, I was like, "How do you know his name if you couldn't pronounce his name?" But
I couldn't, man. And I talked to James. I was like, "Hey, did you play with the guy I was playing with?" He's like, "Oh, though." I was like, "Okay, all right, got it, James." So it is though. I wrote it down in my phone so I won't forget it. Also, writing it down probably helped, and getting
nice.
reassurance from someone else.
I was gonna say a little while ago, but I was in the zone and lost the thought. I actually had a recurring nightmare that probably lasted off and on for 2 or 3 months back in I think it's 2019, where they had fucked up my transcripts. And even though I walked across stage, I hadn't really graduated high school.
Oh
So
shit.
my early 30s, I was gonna have to go back and finish everything up. And I remember stepping into the halls of the high school and just being like, I am so out of place. I'm older than everybody by so much. I'm older than some of the teachers. I was like, this is so embarrassing. How am I going to hide this from my family, my coworkers? I can't tell my wife I'm going to high school. And I'll wake up like in a cold sweat. Like I was panicked. Like, oh God, it was a
Man,
fucking dream again. And this happened for 2 or 3 months. It wasn't nightly. It wasn't every single week, but it was frequent enough that I was just like, I don't know what's causing this, but I want it out of my life.
that's I've dude. That's so weird. I've You're the second or third person that's told me that they've had reoccurring dreams. I've never had any. Um, Ever since I saw a gun get pulled out on homie, I've had nothing but fuck. Like that's what 8 out of 10 of my nightmares are about is me getting shot, and it sucks. But it's never the same thing. Like the last one, I was at a pond, and this old dude came outside and was like, "What are you doing in my pond?" And I was like, "I'm fishing." He was like, "Did you ask permission?" And I was like, "No," but my friend said that it was okay. He was like, "Well, he didn't ask me," and the motherfucker brings out a shotgun, and I'm fucking running, but it's like I'm not running, and it happens in every dream or every nightmare. It's like a fucking gun gets pulled out, and I'm about to get shot, and the guns
Dude,
only went off like 2 or 3 times.
after we got mugged at gunpoint, the dream started probably coming in maybe a month after it. Like at first, like I didn't have any like dreams about it. Didn't have like any anxiety if I thought it could happen again because I became like hyper aware of my surroundings for a little while. Um, but when the dreams started coming in, I'd be sleeping in our apartment on the couch, and I have a dream about sleeping in our apartment on the couch, and like these muggers kicking the door in or blasting through the window and reacting. And sometimes I'd win and I'd kill them, and sometimes I'd lose and they'd kill me. And these dreams were just constant for probably about 6 months.
Would you actually die, or would they actually die, or would you wake up before one of those two happened?
It was almost I didn't. This is a weird part. Like, you know how sometimes you see a dream distinctly, and then sometimes you have a vague feeling about it.
I don't know. Most of my dreams are very vivid.
Gotcha. Like I have parts that are vivid and parts that are like very fuzzy. Um, so the part I'm about to say is very fuzzy, and it's like we died, but then respawned like you would in a video game.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's what it felt like a death and respawn.
I've only died in actually three. Like every time, like right before I die, I mean, like I'll see them pull the trigger and I'll see the flash and I'll wake up immediately. But there's been 3 or 4 times where I died, and the first time I saw someone else die, I was probably 7 or 8 years old. So you know where David and them live, behind Momo's house?
Wait, you saw somebody die in real life?
No, in the dream.
Oh,
It was the first
I
time
was
I ever
like,
saw.
dude, you've never told me this. Like, do you want to tell me this like for the first time on camera?
No, I've never seen anyone die.
Okay.
But do you know where David's house is behind Momo's?
Yeah.
Alright, so like on that hill up there, this lady was just and I don't know who the lady was, but she was standing there and like she held a gun to her head. I don't remember if I tried to stop her, I don't remember anything, but I remember vividly her blowing her fucking brains out and dropping to the ground, and then I woke up. Cause I always saw like people almost die, but I had never seen anyone die, and like that one stuck with me. Like obviously not vividly, cause I'm sure more things happened in it. But as soon as she fucking pulled that trigger and I saw her drop and her brains are fucking splattered, I was like, whoop. Thank God it was just a fucking nightmare.
Man.
Thank fucking God. But yeah, I don't see people die often, and I don't die often. But when I do, it's always I wake up right afterwards. I don't fucking keep dreaming and respawn and shit.
Dude, I had one last year that once I realized it was
in the bottle on stream.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, I'm a meet my shit, but I'm gonna listen to you.
But I remember.
My bad.
You're not muted, bro. We can hear you like taking your pants off. But last year I remember having a dream that was so vivid and felt so real, and this was the most beautiful place I had ever seen. It was a small town church, much like Poplar Springs, where we have the storm shelter venue at. And just like there were 2 stories that were like main stories. You had the ground level, then the basement, but then you had a very small 3rd level, and no one ever went up there in Poplar because somebody had passed away up there, and after that they just closed it down, never used it. Well, it was a very similar setup. Crawled up through there, and it was like kind of like a little labyrinth. Like you had to like crawl through these very short, narrow hallways or corridors or whatever it'd be. Think about Bruce Willis in Die Hard, where he's climbing through the heating and air vents, about that size, pretty damn small. But then you get to where it opens up, and there's a little ledge that you can sit on and have your feet dangle off, and it's a pool. And I don't know where the light is coming from, but you've never seen colors like this before. It's like you see every single color that could exist is there, and it's just like, whoa, and it's so bright, and it's just a feeling of peace. And bro, I thought it was real for maybe a month or 2. And I told either you or Wendy that I wanted to take you there. And whoever it was I told was like, what? And I was like, fuck, I just dreamt that so strongly that I wanted to take my loved ones there so they could experience it too.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I wonder. That's something. Okay, so you were talking about how we can't fathom like a billion, like the mind can't even comprehend what the fuck that means.
Yeah, the number's too big.
what my brain can't comprehend is that there's colors that I can't see. Makes no sense to me. It
There's
doesn't.
so much we can't see. Yeah.
Dude, like, it makes no sense that Roy G. Biv and everything after and in between, there's something that, there's a color that I haven't seen before or that I possibly can't see. Like, what?
Yeah, I don't think about it often, but in a similar idea that there's sounds that I can't hear.
Right, like how some people can hear. We used to do this in high school too. Turn on that fucking like dog whistle where it's very, very high pitched. And like the kids can hear it. Most of the kids can hear it, but the teacher can't hear it. But to us, it's loud as fuck. Have you ever heard of that?
I remember doing that, but I don't remember what the context was. But I vaguely remembered it.
It plays at a very, very, very high frequency, and it just sounds like a constant beep. But we would play it in class, and like some teachers would be like, "Hey, who's making that noise?" And then others would be like, "Dude, she doesn't even hear it." You know, like, it's crazy.
So that's what the context was. That a student was playing it on their phone.
Yeah, they would play it on their fucking Nokia cell phone, and fucking it was like the frequencies were super fucking high, and you can probably find it right now, like a dog whistle or some shit. Like dogs can hear sounds that we can't. So like some older teachers could hear it because I don't know, we did in probably like 4 or 5 classes, and you know, young teachers could most times hear it, but the fucking like old teachers. Like everyone's like, "What the fuck is that noise?" And the teacher is up there like, blah, blah, blah. Don't hear shit.
Man.
Yeah, it was a really popular thing. That was like I think it was I could be lying about this. It could be, I might say it's like a viral YouTube video because it was like a fucking. Everyone's like, "Oh man, let's do the 432 hertz, whatever." It fucking was. Like, yeah, it's stupid. But that's what I'm saying is like, fucking, there's sounds that we can't hear. Like, that makes no sense. Like, how can, when I was in Tennessee, her dogs are freaking out 30 seconds before I even see her pull up. But they heard her way down the street. Like, that's crazy. Turn the lights off. That bitch sees a roach crawling. He's gonna jump on it and kill it. And I can't even fucking see it. But he has night vision, so he sees it. Like, makes no sense, man. You got work tomorrow?
Is there?
Alright. That means love, peace, and unity. That means good night. You gotta sign us out, man. Tell these bitches what to do. Tell these motherfuckers what to do, man.
Stay black, motherfuckers.
Don't be whack. Pow, pow. Love yourself.